We are coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios in the heart of Johannesburg. This is Prime News on SABC 3, and here's what's dominating in your leads at this hour. The suspended Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department Deputy Chief, Julius Mkhwanazi, and his 4 co-accused have been arrested for the alleged murder and dumping of Emmanuel Mbenze in 2022.
He would have lied to a committee of parliament, which in itself is an offence.
The Madlanga Commission has heard that IDEX project diversion, led by former head advocate Andrea Johnson, allegedly plotted to set up top cop General Fani Masemola by withholding investigations from him so that he would be left to lie to the Portfolio Committee in Parliament. And the Section 89 Impeachment Committee has been advised that it will have the power to compel President Cyril Ramaphosa to appear before it and testify. It has just gone 8 o'clock and you are watching Prime News on SABC 3. Good evening and welcome to it. My name is Beki Mutumomolete, and with me is your sign language interpreter, Fortune Madlala. Let us chart a course together through the day's biggest stories. And with that said, here are your leads. The suspended Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department Deputy Chief, Julius Mkhwanazi, has been arrested yet again. He and 4 others were detained for the alleged murder and dumping of the body of businessman Emmanuel Mbenze in 2022. The arrest is the 4th in recent weeks in separate criminal investigations. Mbenze was allegedly tortured to death in 2022 by members of the SAPS, EMPD and private civilians before his body was dumped into a dam. Mkhwanazi and his 4 co-accused, including officers previously linked to the Kilani Precious Stones case, are expected to appear in court soon. Allegations surrounding Mbenze's killing emerged during testimony before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, where witness evidence linked law enforcement officials to the incident. Witness D. Marius van der Merwe testified at the commission that Mkhwanazi ordered him to dispose of Mbenze's body. To this now, the Madlanga Commission has heard that IDEX project diversion, led by former head advocate Andrea Johnson, allegedly plotted to set up top cop General Fani Masemola by withholding investigations from him so that he would be left to lie to the Portfolio Committee in Parliament. This as the Commission heard further evidence from IDEX state advocate Drushantha Ramsamy on the project which involved IDEX investigations into crime intelligence, which point to the allegation that it was geared towards the targeting of high-ranking generals and that there is meaning to the consistent feature of Major General Feroz Khan in these matters.
The allegations continue to mount against former IDAC head advocate Andrea Johnson. This is IDAC state advocate Drushantha Ramsamy revealed further details into IDAC's investigations into crime intelligence, aka Project Diversion, which show that Johnson allegedly instructed the team not to inform General Fani Masemola of the investigations so that he would be left to lie before Parliament's Portfolio Committee.
It looked and obviously became evident that there was a line of march, and that line of march was to get General Kumalo and General Masemola in an accused box. And so obviously there was, at some point there was talk about if he lies at Portfolio Committee, but this is well after. I think this is in February or March, and this was just between Padiachi and myself and Mr. Perumal, where if he lies, we can at least charge him for perjury.
He would have lied to a committee of parliament, which in itself is an offence.
Meanwhile, Ramsamy testified that after Johnson met with Police Minister, who is now on a leave of absence, Senzo Mchunu, at his residence, she sought quote-unquote something on his Chief of Staff, Cedric Gabinde. The hearings continue. Kani Mapanga, SABC News, Pretoria.
The Section 89 Impeachment Committee has been advised that it will have the power to compel President Cyril Ramaphosa to appear before it and testify. The committee has also recommended Advocate Thandazani Madonsela, SC, as its preferred evidence leader.
The committee has backed Advocate Thandazani Madonsela's nomination as its evidence leader. He received 9 votes against Advocate Kate of Mayor SC, who received 7 votes. Madonsela's nomination was backed by the EFF, MKP, ATM, UAT, ACDP and BOSA. The ANC, PA and Al-Jama abstained.
The name that will be recommended as per the outcome of the vote will be that of Advocate Madonsela. Like we have said, that ours is to recommend the appointing process is done by Parliament.
Parliamentary legal advisors say the committee should be able to summon the president like any other witness to account before it.
We are proposing that the president be compelled to testify and not be given a right not to testify. Obviously, this is something the committee must consider and make a decision on as to how it thinks appropriate that an impeachment hearing takes place, whether the president should be given those rights or not. But it's our view, in the framework of our constitution, the president is elected by the National Assembly and he must account to the Assembly.
The committee's recommendation on the appointment of the evidence leader will now be forwarded to the National Assembly for consideration and final approval. Mkokeli Bandla, SABC News, Parliament.
Next up, Parliament says that it has implemented sanctions against 2 members of the National Assembly after they were found guilty of contravening Parliament's Code of Ethical Conduct and Disclosure of Members' Interests. They are NCC leader Fadil Adams and MKP MP David Skosana. Adams breached the code after publishing a Facebook post containing the personal contact details of a DA staff member. He has been suspended from parliamentary debates and committee meetings for 20 parliamentary days, and his salary and allowance during this period have been reduced. Skosana, on the other hand, failed to properly disclose a directorship in a company and has been fined 15,000 rand. He has also been found guilty of verbally intimidating a Newsroom Africa journalist following an interview conducted in Parliament and has been suspended for 15 days. His salary and allowances have also been reduced during this period. When we return, ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula has denied allegations against him by ANC NEC member Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma that he bought his way into the ANC Secretariat. Those details are coming up after the break. Welcome back to Prime News on SABC 3. With just 3 days remaining to register before the voters' roll closes for the 2026 local government elections, citizens are encouraged to use the available digital platforms to secure their vote. South Africans are encouraged to secure their vote by midnight on August 7th using the online portal or the convenient new WhatsApp registration service. This deadline marks the closing of the voters' roll and the commencement of the formal electoral timetable. For more on this, we are now joined by the Provincial Electoral Officer for KwaZulu-Natal, Ntombufuthi Masinga. It's great to have you back with us again this week, Ntombufuthi.
Thanks very much for having me again.
Let's jump straight into the business of the day. Perhaps let's start here. Can you tell us what the current state of the registration readiness is ahead of Friday's deadline?
We are pretty much ready as the Commission, and we are quite excited over the weekend that we were able to also launch the WhatsApp platform, which we know is a favorite channel for young people. It's an addition to an already existing portal, Register to Vote, which already has been active for years, but it's an opportunity for everyone in South Africa to confirm that they are registered in a correct voting station and in a correct ward. And we're looking forward to the WhatsApp platform because we know studies suggest that young people spend more time on WhatsApp than any other platform. It's not only young people, even adults. So by sending your ID number, you just send a hi to 0600 880000, and you send a hi, and the first option that you're going to get is an option to register to vote. The significance of Friday is that whilst we have known the election dates for quite some time now, but that's the day the minister is going to proclaim it, which means publishing it in a government gazette. And that will formally close the voters' roll. And we will shut down all our registration platform at midnight on Friday the 7th, because that will officially open the candidate nomination season and the voters' roll inspection season by all the contestants that would have registered to contest the coming election.
All right, now speaking about that WhatsApp service, how successful has it been so far?
On the first day we launched it, we didn't announce it on Saturday, we announced it on a Monday, but on Saturday already, I think because people were used to using it to check their registration status, they were pleasantly surprised to find that there is now an option to register using the WhatsApp platform, and we got over 1,000 transactions through the WhatsApp platform. We haven't assessed how it has performed since then, but if before we announced it on the very first day, we already hit 1,000, we are optimistic that the young people are going to take up this offer. We have shared it with all the civil society organizations that work with the sector that we were targeting, and we are quite positive that young people are going to take it up. The advantage with it is that you don't have to buy data all the time. You can buy a WhatsApp bundle that lasts you a month, and it doesn't cost them any extra to go to this platform.
Ntombi, you mentioned the midnight deadline on the 7th of August, but what happens to those that actually miss that deadline on that day?
Unfortunately, that will be it. That's why we're saying people should utilize the opportunity they still have now after the registration weekend, because that was the final opportunity to go to a voting station close to you. After the weekend, your only other platform that you have is either to go to an IEC office, which happens to be in town in every municipality in the country. But your best bet is to go to our online platforms because they are available 24/7. Unfortunately, at 12 midnight on Friday, when the voters' roll closes, you will not be able to either update your registration details or register as a voter, because we can't have a registration process still live when we start candidate nomination. Because one of the things that somebody who registers their candidature for these elections, we have to check that they are registered on the municipality where they intend contesting. So we can't have a voting station, a voters roll live, because we may unduly disqualify a person only to find that they were still going to register correctly in a municipality where they want contesting. So there won't be any other opportunity to get yourself on the voters roll after the 7th of August.
Understood. Now, with the deadline coming up this weekend, what are some of the biggest hurdles that voters are running into to get registered during this final push?
I think people are still struggling with identity documents. We have been announcing that in both registration weekends, Home Affairs was open, same hours as the IEC. But what we are encouraging people to do, if you have misplaced your ID document and you haven't registered, you can still apply for a temporary ID certificate, which is available at Home Affairs. You get it on the spot when you apply and use that for the purposes of registration. If you happen to have taken a picture of your ID document or your smart card and you have it on your phone, the advantage is that if you go to our online platforms, all you will need to do is to upload the picture that you already have on your phone. But make sure then that before election day, you apply for an ID or you get yourself a temporary ID for the purposes of voting.
Well, that's all we have time for. Ntomfuthi, thank you so much, as always, for your time and the work that you're doing with the Commission to make sure that this process is accessible. All right, we turn our focus to this now. ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula has denied allegations against him by ANC NEC member Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma that he bought his way into the ANC secretariat. In a Renaissance podcast that aired on the 3rd of August, Dlamini-Zuma alleged that the use of money played a big role in the 55th National Conference of the ANC, resulting in Balula being elected as the Secretary General of the ANC. Dlamini-Zuma further alleges that the current ANC top 7 officials were procured with money. Balula says that he is seeking legal advice.
Balula was dishing the money in the clinic. So money has played a role in the ANC.
He was dishing money proudly.
Yeah.
Like openly.
Openly, yeah. It wasn't like a secret.
Openly to be elected as the SG.
To be elected and for the president to be elected.
But the ANC rules are clearly, or are they not? Are they silent about the use of money? As I understand, the use of money is criminal in terms of conferences of the ANC.
Money was used. We all know. We all know. We all saw it. At least in 22, we saw it. If you ask anyone who worked at the clinic at the time, they'll tell you. Even the media reported it, so it's not something, I'm not revealing a secret. The media reported it at the time.
Meanwhile, International Relations Minister Ronald Lamola has written an open letter to ANC NEC member Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, responding to allegations that she made on the podcast. Dlamini-Zuma alleged in the podcast that there was a circulation of a voice note purportedly of Lamola of vote buying. In a post published on X, Lamola says that he notes with concern and disappointment Dlamini-Zuma's remarks and urges her to retract her statements. All right, it is now time for us to take a quick look at what the weather holds in store for us. Our weather team is waiting in the fold with all the details you need, and your forecast is coming up next.
Good evening and welcome to the Weather Desk. There is an approaching cold front to the west of the country, bringing in cloudy conditions from this evening. But tomorrow, we see that cold front making landfall, bringing rain and showers along the coastal areas of the Western Cape, Eastern Cape, as well as KwaZulu-Natal. The South African Weather Service warns at a level 1 warning for damaging winds and waves along the southwest coast between Cape Columbine and Cape Agulhas, where there may be damaging winds as well as navigation at sea. We start with the Gauteng province, where it will be cool for tomorrow afternoon. Johannesburg at a maximum of 23, but warmer temperatures over the northern areas with Tshwane at a maximum of 25. It will still remain cool over the interior of the Limpopo province, but warmer temperatures as you move into the Sekhukhune district with Tzaneen 29. A warm day along the Musina Valley with Musina at a maximum of 30. Cool temperatures along the escarpment areas of Mpumalanga with Mashishinga 23, Carolina at a maximum of 24. It is warm over the southeastern areas with Mkhondo at a maximum of 27. Morning fog patches over the interior of KwaZulu-Natal with rain and showers along the south coast, where it will be cool between Port Shepstone and Gokstad at 23, but warmer temperatures as you move into the north coast with Richards Bay at a maximum of 30. It is still cool across most parts of the interior of the Eastern Cape with partly cloudy conditions, rain and showers along the south coast into the adjacent interior. A cool day Mthatha 21, while Makhanda will reach a maximum of 19. Showers and rain along the coastal areas of the Western Cape into the adjacent interior. A cold day in the city of Cape Town with a maximum of 14, but cool temperatures in the central Karoo with Beaufort West at a maximum of 18. Very cold temperatures over the southern high ground, but mostly cool temperatures over the northeastern areas with Kuruman at a maximum of 23. It is still cool across most parts of the Free State province with clear skies with Bloemfontein at 23, Welkom at a maximum of 24, and then lastly, a warm day in Rustenburg at 25, but cool temperatures over the interior with Lichtenburg at 23. I'll leave you there with the weather. Good night.
And that is how we sign off for this evening. And thank you for spending your time with us. Until next time, from myself, Becky, and the team, it is good night.